What's going on, people? What is going on? We got the heavy hitters coming with you on the Wednesday night. As you already know, I am your host, Six Man K Styles, aka the Shogun, is in the building. And to my stage left, also in incognito mode right now.
I'm here. I'm here.
My,
Let me
my
turn the
bad.
camera on. One second.
My bad. I hope he didn't hear that first part. This your boy, this little Mad Mike
Oh,
Sports,
hell.
aka Senator Palpatine, is in the building.
What's that?
Well, technically, I'm a stage right now, but it's all good. And to my stage left today, as you already know, we got the Summer Hill Nightmare, the icon, the Don is in the building.
It's showtime.
And down at the bottom, as you already know, we got the residential minister, aka the point guard. Jude Talk Sports is in the building, y'all.
What's happening?
And we have a special guest tonight. We got the sports. What was that? The sports guy, right?
That's right.
What's going on, man?
Hater.
Oh my God, hating it. Now, what's going on?
He hates Kirk Cousins like I do, y'all.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh man, right? Like I say, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk today. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, so thanks for having me on. I'm here to give you guys a 411 on Kirk Cousins. I don't think you guys made a mistake. I just don't think you made the smartest decision you could have. But we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Interesting. And this is going to be a fun night for y'all, man. But before we go ahead and get into it, what we got the sweet three special words. What is it, Mike? It's the what?
Real roll call.
Roll call, baby. And today's roll call, we're going to kick it off with Sherman Wood, Tony Hall, engine number 9, Pat Norris. We got Auntie Pam in the building, YMOF Jamal, Big Ant, the therapist. Shout out to all of the AFN family. We got Dirty Bird for Life, Georgia, Texas boy. Got my people Sonya in the building, Fred Butts, Dre Murphy, and Brian Peoples. We have 46 people tuning in right now. Let's go ahead and get about 46 of those likes as you come in. They are free. Like I said, this is the toll of admission. So we definitely appreciate that. We have D. Coleman and Russell Williams. And we got Coach Unchained in the building, y'all. Like y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the residential coach of AFN and show him some love. So let's go right into it, man. How's everybody doing this evening? How y'all doing tonight, fellas?
Couldn't be better for me. I just got off the golf course. It's like 50-some degrees in Minnesota, which is unheard of in March, so I couldn't be happier. And we're off of Kirk Cousins' contract. How about that?
Did you get you a Juicy Lucy on the way to or from the golf course?
This motherfucker.
That shit ain't. Hey, can I swear on this podcast?
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that shit ain't special for me. It's special for y'all when you come up here, but they ain't nothing for me. So no, I did not get a Juicy Lucy. I mean, whatever food you guys got down there. What do you guys? What's famous in Atlanta? You guys founded that Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. I love me some fried chicken, barbecue, wings.
It's a wing spot every corner.
I just live in the wrong spot. I don't need a burger with cheese in it. I need some fried chicken and some good Southern food. That's what I look forward to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Ryan, man, what's your handicap on the golf course, man?
Last year was about a 9. Yeah.
Mm.
Decent.
Look, my hands are so jittery, man. I can't play pool, I can't play golf. But for whatever reason, I can play baseball. But yeah,
Oh,
golf has always been horrible with me. Look, I give it up to anybody who can keep their hands still. I've never been able to do it.
I love golf. I love
I,
playing golf. I don't like
have,
watching it, but I love playing it.
have
Best.
anybody ever seen? Have anybody ever seen the movie Caddyshack in here?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember the dude with the horrible slice?
Yeah.
That's me times 15. So yeah, my handicap ain't that good. All right, hey man, hey, I had to admit to that. I'm sorry, y'all. But let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Like you said, man, fellas, how y'all want to kick this thing off tonight, man?
Let Ryan go ahead and go, man. Just talk about what was the reason why Minnesota let go of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's multiple reasons. It's not for the lack of talent. The guy is clearly talented. You guys watched him. I don't know if you guys watched him, but it was Monday night, so I think everyone was watching him. You watch him dismantle the NFC champs, right? Like he took down with a Minnesota Vikings team that wasn't very good. Our defense it's being rebuilt by Brian Flores, and I think we're doing some great things, but we weren't anything at that point. I think we were 2-4 or something like that at the moment, and we were starting to come alive. But that's the reason he got the contract from you guys, is that very specific game against the 49ers. And so you're getting a good quarterback who can do some really great things, and we'll get into like how he fits with Atlanta here in a minute. But the issue is he in 2017 we went to the NFC Championship game with Case Keenum and broken leg Teddy Bridgewater and broken leg Sam Bradford. And we got dismantled. We got dismantled by the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. They went on to win. And we said, all right, we're a quarterback away. And we signed him to this big contract. And we couldn't get over the hump. 6 years later, we have one playoff win to our name. We've had 3 different contracts with him, and that's my issue. So we were in a stranglehold by his contracts for these last 6 years. And what I mean by that is it's not because of the money. The money, 35, I think 36, 38, whatever it was per year, isn't awful for the production he's bringing. The issue is they're all done in 2-3 year contracts. When you're stuck in a 2-3 year contract with fully guaranteed money, fully guaranteed every year he was here, you have no flexibility. You look at Pat Mahomes, he's getting $50 million a year, but that's over 10 years, or like that's 10 years. So if you need to create some cap space because you need to sign a Chris Jones, you have that ability because you can restructure the money, you can push the money down the line. Obviously, someday that's going to bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
But when you have these 2-year, 1 year, 2 year restructures, 3 year contracts, you don't have flexibility. And so then you start losing defensive pieces, or you lose offensive pieces, or we have to trade away good players to keep the money working. And so is that Kirk's fault? Not necessarily, draft better, right? Have better contracts with your other players, right? Figure out a way. So it's not all on Kirk, but that the contracts that he structured weren't great for business. And the production, if you're Pat Mahomes, you can get away with it because he can cover up so many other mistakes. Kirk isn't going to be that guy that completely can elevate a team. He is a core cog, and he can make a lot of players great, but he can't cover up the mistakes of a bad defense because he's not a high-powered, I'm going to put the team on my back, Marshawn Lynch right?
So he's no Matty Ice, huh? That's what you're saying? He's not no Matty Ice?
I mean, I don't know I don't even want to bring up that playoff game because you guys should have had that one. But yeah, I mean, it's you can only cover up so much, and he just wasn't able to do it. So with you guys, it's a little bit of a different story because you're coming in kind of like we did in 18. But he's coming into a familiar offense. You got Zach Robinson at the helm. He comes from the Sean McVay. He comes from a Kevin O'Connell type. Is it going to be different? You have a new play caller? Absolutely. But it's very similar, right? Very similar. Hopefully. So he can come in. You have Drake London, super underrated receiver because of the quarterback play you've had for the first couple years of his career. You have Kyle Pitts, who obviously oozes talent. Let's see if it translates. You got Bijan Robinson, who, I mean, he might be the best running back in the league if you don't have Arthur Blank or not Arthur Blank. Who's your old coach?
Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith. If you don't have him at the helm, he might be the best running back in the league. You got a great offensive line. You have an ascending defense. I mean, you guys got the pieces. So can you plug and play him, and can he make you a deep playoff run, especially in the division you're in? We'll see.
Great analysis.
Now you said something interesting too when you was talking about necessarily the contracts that Kirk Cousins had. Because, like you said, I've kind of looked it up too. It was a lot of guaranteed contracts. And do you think it would have been a different feel if it was like maybe one long-term contract? You think it would have been a different feel for it? Okay.
Yeah, because when you go into some of these years and you can't restructure him, so you're restructuring some other guys that force us to keep guys longer than we should have, like a Dalvin Cook or a Anthony Barr or an Eric Kendricks. I mean, shoot, we're still hanging on to Harrison Smith. Not that I don't like Harrison Smith. He was one of the greatest Vikings of all time. But we're still having to deal with these contracts. Now, I love where the Vikings are at. I think we made the right move by moving on from Kirk. And that's not a shot at Kirk or you guys. It's just that we needed to get off of some of these contracts to have some of this flexibility. And because our team isn't prepared to make a deep playoff run. We're not a quarterback away. We're a multiple players on defense away. Obviously we have good receivers. We need an interior offensive line. We don't have Chris Lindstrom or Matt Hennessy on our squad. Do you guys like Matt Hennessy? I think he's a good player. I don't know.
Hennessy is gone now.
Oh, did he leave?
Yeah, he's out with the Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. That was disappointing right there, but like you said, it had to be done. So shout out to Matt Hennessy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a good player, But yeah, so you guys got some players on the offensive line. We don't have a running back like you guys do. So you have an offense that was a quarterback away probably last year, especially with how weak the division is. I mean, not to pump, other teams in your division, but Bucks figured out something with Baker that I've liked for a while, but I'm an Oklahoma fan. So, Bucks figured out something with Baker, but also that offense is just
I know Don ain't talking. God damn, Don, I know your ass ain't talking.
I ain't saying nothing. He Oklahoma fan, so hey.
Hey, no, I know we know. Oh, you know why I said that, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later.
We will.
But Jew, man, what's going on with you, Jew? Oh my God! Muted it.
My fault, y'all. Yeah, I'm chilling, man. Hey, I definitely want to jump in on this Kirk Cousins talk because we have somebody that's been experienced with Kirk Cousins, and I kind of agree with what he's saying. He made some great and valid points, and I kind of want to jump in right where he left off and kind of piggyback. I really feel like that's the reason why we went with Kirk Cousins is what he mentioned. We have to be able to elevate these guys that we have on these rookie contracts. When you have a Kyle Pitts, when you have a Bijan Robinson, when you have a Drake London, and they've heard me say this here on the panel numerous times, Ryan, it's like you have to try to win a Super Bowl when you got all of these guys on these rookie deals. Point blank and period. I feel like in 2016, I'm not going to go too much into the Super Bowl, but I mentioned then we blew our opportunity when you have guys like, key contributors like the Deion Joneses, like the Devondre Campbells, like the Keanu Neals. You have to capitalize. Vic Beasley, all these guys are on rookie deals. You got to capitalize because firsthand you're not going to be able to pay everybody. That's my.
Wasn't Grady Jarrett on the rookie deal then too? That's a beast right there, man.
Yeah, so
Desmond Trufant, he was still on his rookie deal too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Robert Alford, all of them were still on rookie deals.
So, and we've seen this with Seattle. I always pointed to the Legion of Boom when they were winning Super Bowls and going back-to-back Super Bowls. Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, those guys were on rookie deals. We see what broke that team up was once they had to start paying those guys, that's what broke the Legion of Boom up. They had to pay Russell Wilson, who was on a rookie deal when they won the Super Bowl. And that's what you're talking about with Kirk Cousins with those guaranteed contracts. Now, I do want to say this about Kirk Cousins because I see he's catching a lot of strays on Twitter. He's catching strays from Flies and everybody else that I've never heard talk football. What I'll say about Kirk Cousins is this. Everybody's looking at his pockets. It's not his fault that Washington continued to bet against this man and continue to give this man franchise tag. That's what started him making the money that he's made in the league. A lot of people are overlooking that. It wasn't that he never wanted a long-term deal. It's what I said with Desmond Ridder. They never wanted to marry Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was a side chick. They never married him. Washington had the opportunity to marry him. He could be Washington's quarterback right now. He could have been their Matt Ryan, where they could have rolled that. Because what has Washington been looking for? A quarterback ever since he's been gone. But they refused to commit to that man. So he continued to get those 1 year franchise tag. Franchise tag was all guaranteed money. And then when he went to the Vikings, he just didn't trust front offices anymore. That's what I really think. It's like, this team has bet against me so much, and I've proven it year in, year out. When he got to the Vikings, it's like, I'm sick of this. Now I need all my money up front before I do anything because I've proven myself, and still nobody wants to give me a guaranteed deal, a big contract. So I understand where Kirk Cousins has come from, but I think people are forgetting where it started. Like, it started with Washington. They continue to give him franchise tag, which really the franchise tag doesn't work for your salary cap. It kills your salary cap. You're smart. A player is proving it. Give him that contract like you mentioned with Pat Mahomes where you can stretch it out and then you can restructure. We did that with Matt Ryan. Restructure, kick that can down the road to the point where that's the reason we traded Matt Ryan because it was like, okay, now this dude's salary cap, hit is crazy. So we got to move on from him. Similar to what Minnesota's doing with Kirk. So I understand why they got rid of him. It wasn't because he couldn't play. It was because we're trying to rebuild our team. And can you rebuild a team, which we had 2 years of salary cap hell with Matt Ryan when he left because that salary cap at the time was the highest cap hit prior to the most recent guys that were just recently cut. I think it was Russell Wilson, his big contract. So that's my deal with Kirk is I don't like what I'm seeing where everybody's like, well, why did they pay him this amount of money? That's the price of doing business in today's NFL. For a good quarterback or above average quarterback, you're going to pay upwards of $100 million. If you ain't willing to pay that money, you're not willing to have a quality quarterback. We could have kept Desmond Ridder and played him out on that rookie deal, but the fans here in Atlanta was tired of it after one season. Everybody on this panel can agree with me. All the heavy
he's bad, man. You couldn't have done it.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying our motto was build the team around him and then drop the quarterback in. But we weren't patient. Go ahead.
But the thing is with Desmond, I don't think he's bad. It's just we didn't have the staff. Y'all got Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. Y'all have a
that's what I wanted to mention.
Develop a quarterback. We didn't have Arthur Smith is not known for developing quarterbacks. Dave Ragone is definitely not known for developing quarterbacks. So Ridder was already behind the 8 ball when it comes to development. But now we have a Zach Robinson here. I feel like you have a Kirk Cousins. Desmond Ridder can sit behind Kirk Cousins and learn and develop the right way that he needs to. And like what Drew just said, the market is set at around $48 million. It's not Kirk Cousins' fault that he asked for $45 million a year. You know, are you gonna pay him that, or are you gonna pay somebody who won 11 games in 3 years, $48 or $50 million? Because I promise you, Justin Fields, he was gonna ask for around what Jalen Hurts is making right now in Philadelphia. Just saying.
And he's not as good. I've watched a lot of Justin Fields. He's fun, and he's a hometown kid, so I get it. But he's not the passer Kirk is. He's not going to elevate the play of Drake London, who needs to be. I mean, that's a bona fide star right there. That's a bona fide. Kyle Pitts, he has the potential. We haven't seen it, but he has the potential to be a bona fide star. Justin Fields wasn't going to make those boys stars. They weren't. He wasn't. No. Like, Kirk will make them household names, just like he made Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Stephon Diggs was already, and Adam Thielen. They were already household names, but like he elevated them to that next level too, because he's a good passer. He can accurately get that ball there. He can give them opportunity. Here's it. Kirk, when he first came with us, he was hesitant. He didn't want to make the risky throw. But with Kevin O'Connell, and I'm assuming Zach Robinson will be the same, he's going to give him the freedom, because Zimmer didn't want to give him that freedom. He said, you turn the ball over, I'm shooting you out, right? KOC said you have the flexibility and freedom to make these riskier throws, and our defense will get your back. And I'm assuming Zach Robinson will do the same. So, and Darnell Mooney, that was a good signing.
Yeah,
But I want to say as well too, for those that may not know about what the franchise tag is, I just want to make sure I get some clarification from the panel. So what Drew said about the franchise tag is definitely true. Like you said, it sounds good to the fan, but as far as the team and the player, it's not really a good deal, because you're going to get what they said, the hot, is like either the top 3 or the
Salaries.
top salary for what said position. But the thing about it is that the players don't get the incentives that they're used to playing with, the bonuses. So that's why when you see a lot of players that get franchise tag, they usually hesitate to either sign it or they'll hold out for a bigger contract.
It's important.
There's just no guarantees. Like, what you blow your ACL, nobody's going to pay you money.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the guaranteed money, even if it is less than what that franchise tag's worth. I want some guarantees for 2, 3, 4 years, and the franchise tag won't give you that.
It's important to add too with this, as far as the contract is concerned, like, it's important to add, like, if you have a contract and a player like Kirk Cousins, who's demanding $45-50 million a year, and guaranteed money, the thing is, it's not a bad deal. If you're doing it in 2 years, it's not a bad deal if you have a development plan. It's terrible for teams that don't have a development plan. And this is what Ryan is alluding to, the fact, like, if you look at, for the most part, do they have good coaches? Yeah. But with Atlanta, you brought in guys like Zach Robinson, you brought in DJ Williams, you elevated TJ Yates as a quarterback. So bringing in a Kirk Cousins is the perfect situation, so they can, see if a guy like Desmond Ridder is, see what he has, if you can fix him, 2-3 years. And with that third year with Kirk Cousins, if they haven't gotten their quarterback and they haven't developed in the proper way, all right, go back to the table, give Kirk Cousins that extra year, and you draft your quarterback after that. So it's the perfect situation for a team like the Atlanta Falcons, but for a team like Minnesota, who doesn't have these weapons on the defense side of the ball, offense side of the ball, it's horrible, because you putting all this money into this guy and you can't continually develop your guys. And like I said, it's just a bad deal. So very important to understand development in football. That's how you kind of stay away from these mega contracts. You have to be able to develop your team.
Yeah, and if you can develop Ridder, but I wasn't a big fan of him coming out in general. If I were you guys, I mean, if you want to get a development plan in place this year, I would go draft a guy like Penix in the second round because he actually is a very similar player to Kirk Cousins. Not super mobile, very accurate passer, big arm, especially deep, very deep accuracy. So a guy like him, you bring him in year one, he sits behind Kirk. Year two, he sits behind Kirk because that's a 2-year guaranteed contract. The issue with Penix, he's already 24. So you're not getting but like 2 years of clean bill, like he 2 years of clean health, right? They stopped running him around so much, so now he's less likely to get hurt. I get it. I would be concerned about the injuries as well. But if you want a clear development plan for a very similar player to a Kirk Cousins, where you can get off that contract in 2 years, Penix might be that guy, or even a Bo Nix. But I don't know.
So who y'all going to replace Cousins with in the draft? Who do you like coming out?
I like any of the four guys, the top four. I don't want to deal with a Penix or a Bo Nix myself, just because I don't want to take that risk. But I mean, yeah. Hey, if we're getting rid of a top tier quarterback like we did, a top 10 guy, we need to go replace him with somebody who can really elevate to that level. Personally, I have my quarterbacks ranked as Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, and Drake May. So any of those four guys I'm happy with. I would prefer one of those top three. I think Drake May has a lot of work to do, and I don't trust him sitting behind Sam Darnold for a year. I don't want to see Sam Darnold be playing for about a whole year. I think any of those other three guys can probably step in a little sooner. But yeah, I mean, if we can leave the draft with one of those four guys, I'd be a happy man.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of
and honestly, and I'm not to cut you off. I'm so sorry. Honestly, that I personally believe that's the route you guys should have did, and I'm happy you didn't. But I would have sold the farm for a Jaden Daniels if I was you guys.
Yeah, but we just didn't want to do that. But
I get it.
We also got to think about we're not a complete team. We still have positions that we need to address as well. But going back to what I was about to say is, I've been seeing a lot of comps, a lot of mocks that y'all trying to get JJ McCarthy.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you look at JJ McCarthy as a prospect, does he have as high of a ceiling as a Drake May? No. But Drake May's got to hit that ceiling. And I think JJ McCarthy's floor is significantly higher than Drake May's. I think he's a very complete evaluation right now, just with his footwork, with his processing, with his accuracy. He wasn't asked to carry a team like those other three guys. He wasn't asked to be everything like those other three guys were. But when you do that, when you have guys, Caleb Williams actually does concern me a little bit. All the talent in the world, but he had to play hero ball. Now you have to coach that out of him. You have to coach him out of scrambling for 20, 30 yards to make a play. Because in the NFL, when you got Grady Jarrett coming down your neck, you're not going to run away from a guy like that in the NFL. You can do that in college. But, when you got big boys, you got Micah Parsons coming down, you got Brian Burns or whoever it is, like any of these top-tier rushers or interior guy, Chris Jones, you can't just do that. Like, Pat Mahomes makes that look easy, but he's one of one right now. And to expect Caleb Williams to do that, I mean, can he? Absolutely. I have all the faith in him. He started out as an Oklahoma kid, so I'm going to cheer for him all day. But it's a lot to ask, especially of a rookie. So, and personally, I know the Bears are taking him, so I just hope he sucks. So.
Yeah. But I think JJ McCarthy with a Kevin O'Connell, that really sounds dangerous to me.
It's
like JJ
McCarthy, quarterback.
He's a coachable quarterback. He's a very coachable quarterback, and he soak in a lot of like details from everybody. Like even when Harbaugh was suspended those last few games, the first 3 games, then the last 3 games of the season, of the regular season, like he played well. He still managed the game well.
Yeah, you get a system guy like him who can understand a system, understand what's asked of him, and then can create off of that. I actually don't think he's all that different from a Kirk Cousins. The difference is he's got much more mobility than a Kirk Cousins has, which again, Kirk's 36, or almost 36. He's coming off an Achilles. But like JJ, he's got that upside. I think Kirk's kind of his floor potentially, where the upside is a Joe Burrow type or, something of that nature. So I'm higher than most on JJ McCarthy. I think most people have him kind of consensus as QB4. I have him as a, QB2B, right? I have him right there with Jaden Daniels. So yeah, I'm really, and again, he fits what Kevin O'Connell wants to do or what a Zach Robinson would want to do.
Yeah.
So I think you guys are set up well, honestly. You guys got the right coach. Once you get it, as long as you can keep Robinson for a bit, once you get a coach like that who can who can use motion pre-snap, that helps Kirk so much. Because once Kirk can kind of he's a super smart quarterback. Once he understands what that defense is trying to do, he can dissect the defense all day. It's when you have a coach like, the early Zimmer coaches, or like the early Zimmer coach with Kirk, right? I can't remember which OC we had. Maybe Stefanski or Norv Turner. I can't remember.
Y'all had Stefanski first. Y'all had Stefanski first. Because he loved to go to Cleveland.
Yeah, well, we had Norv Turner, and then he quit, and then Stefanski took over for a year and a half, and then he got hired away. But whatever it was, they weren't using motion at all. That doesn't help Kirk. You give Kirk all the data pre-snap as much as you can, and that's what KOC was doing. That's why Shanahan's offense works so well. That's why McVay's offense works so well. Not only do they use pre-snap motion, but they make not every play, but they make a lot of plays look the same. So if you have pre-snap on a defensive side, if you're looking at a formation and saying, I've seen this formation before, but they run 6 things off of this exact formation, what are you going to do? you can't guess. You have to have at least, you want to be able to guess. But when Justin Jefferson is running the exact same looking route, and all of a sudden he snaps this way or this way, and you're expecting him the other way, and Drake London's going to do that for you guys all year. Kyle Pitts is going to do that for you all year. Darnell Mooney, he's a shifty dude. I watch him a lot with the Bears. He gets open. He didn't have a quarterback that could throw to him, but he can get open. So you guys are going to be just fine as long as Zach Robinson installs this pre-snap motion offense and gives Kirk as much data pre-snap as possible.
All right, so Jude, we're gonna let you hit on this topic right here. Just like Ryan had mentioned about Darnell Mooney, and I know you recently just released a video on Darnell Mooney and the signing to the Atlanta Falcons. So this is your opportunity to let the people know that may have not seen it. What do you think it means for this Atlanta Falcon passing attack?
I mean, I love the pickup of Mooney because he's one of those guys where he can line up on the outside, he can line up in the slot, and as he was mentioning, in this Sean McVay style offense, the Shanahans, and now Zach Robinson, it's a lot of pre-snap motion. So he's the guy that can run in motion on those jet sweeps. You can hand the ball to him and let him go and hit the edge. You can allow him to run those quick smoke screens because he's one of those guys with the ball in his hands. He's electric. And we know that the Rams, if you look at Puka Nacua last year, we look at the Cooper Kupps, the Rams offense is predicated on the quarterback, get the ball out your hands, get it into the playmaker's hands, let those guys run out the catch. And we have those guys he talked about, the Drake Londons, the Kyle Pitts. These guys are hard to bring down. Kyle Pitts is what, 6'6"? Drake London 6'5", 6'4". These guys running those in-breaking routes and those out routes, and even some of the explosive plays that they run, how he said is they run a lot of similar formations, but a lot of different plays run off that same formation. It's going to be like hell to pay for the defenses because it's no way to figure it out. And just that trio between those three guys, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Mooney, haven't even mentioned Bijan Robinson that can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he can be used as a Swiss Army knife. He can do multiple things. So Mooney, bringing him over here just created more flexibility for the guys that we already have on the team, because we know that Drake London in college, he played a lot in the slot as well. So the defense is not going to know who's going to get the ball consistently, and it's going to be basically Kirk Cousins. He's going to have a field day because he has so many guys that he can throw the ball to, and I think it's going to make it tough on defenses. Like he talked about that pre-snap motion, I've seen how it just creates confusion. And you guys know I talk about linebackers sitting flat-footed, guys having a second guess. That 1 second guess, you're already beat. In the red zone, we struggled last year in the red zone with Artie Smith. When you're passing the ball with that pre-snap motion, a lot of times those rub routes and things of that nature, those designs get guys wide open. How many times have we seen in the Super Bowl with Andy Reid, guys are just in the flats wide open because he ran a perfect formation. We know that Mecole Hardman and these guys that they got out there are not great. They're not the Drake Londons and the Kyle Pitts, and these guys are running wide open. And I've seen that numerous times with the Rams. Puka Nacua, I think, was like a 5th-round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And that dude went crazy last year. So that just goes to show you, like, with guys like Mooney, who I think is more athletic than like a Puka, got more speed, 4.3 speed, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be really, really crazy. So I definitely think that this Mooney signing is big because now you have that trio. And then I'm sure they're going to go out and draft the guys well that can run routes. But we were missing that last year, that guy that can run routes and that were really fast. Outside of Scotty Miller, we really didn't have that guy on the team. We had a lot of bigger wide receivers. But now with Mooney on this roster, I really think he creates more flexibility. So I love the pickup.
All right. Mad Micah Sports.
Hey, before we let Ryan has to bounce, so we appreciate you coming on around real quick and giving us and blessing us with your knowledge of said Kirk Cousins. You want to kind of give people where to find you and whatnot, his contact.
Yeah, I mean, I run a Vikings center, or I don't run. I'm part of a Vikings podcast. We call ourselves Climbing the Pocket. You can find us over on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter. My handle is @SportsGuyRye. Again, most of your audience is Atlanta-based, so I assume that you're not caring about my Minnesota Vikings team.
Oh, we love it.
Boy, please. They'll follow. They'll follow you, man. We NFL fans over here. We Falcon fans, but we NFL fans over here too now.
Yeah, well, I mainly talk Vikings and other Minnesota sports. I got a little Oklahoma Sooners in there. Our whole crew, they're super knowledgeable. A lot of them played like college ball and whatnot, so there's a lot of great information. Actually, do you guys know Jordan Reed over at ESPN? He actually was one of the co-founders of the podcast that I do. So, it's a pretty cool group. We've been a little chill lately just because life. We're all like becoming dads and all that stuff. I've been a dad for a while, but so it's just busy. But we're trying to make stuff poppin' here. Excited to be on. I'm happy for you guys. I hope Kirk can do something with you. I'd love to see him, take you guys to the promised land. Something he couldn't do for us. I'm also really happy for us. So it's just one of those things where it's like a win-win for everyone. Hopefully, but yeah, good luck this season. We'll see you guys. I think you play us here in Minnesota, so that should be a fun homecoming game for Kirk to try to shove it in our face. I hope JJ McCarthy can show him what's up. So.
Hey. And
if you guys are running a show, pre, that week.
Oh, we will. We will pre, and
I'll jump back on. I'll probably be a little more feisty and be talking a lot more shit. But hey, that's what it's for. That's why sports is fun.
I do want to thank you, man. I want to thank your college team for blessing us with Sharon Moore.
Oh my God.
Sharon Moore, he's an Oklahoma alum. So hey, go Blue.
Why are we surprised here? Sharon Moore, I don't know why anybody's not. I don't know why anybody's surprised that had to come up.
Hey, we appreciate you, Ryan. Thank you,
Yeah,
brother.
thanks, y'all. You have a great time.
Me too,
All
bro.
right, you too, man. All right, like I said, definitely shout out to Ryan on that. So, Mad Micah Sports.
I want to get I want to get questions, man. I think questions from the people. I think that's where I want to go. You got anything?
I mean, we can definitely get some questions in here right quick though. But while we getting that going on as well, okay, Mike. So, what is your thoughts on Darnell Mooney and how does it affect this Atlanta Falcon passing game? What does it do to the passing game?
Um, You look at Kirk Cousins, man. He's a precision passer, much like Matt Ryan. He get the ball into these guys' hand, let them athlete or be athletes, and that's what you want in this particular offense. This is what you want in the NFL. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs; they're notorious for getting the ball into their playmakers' hands. Calling basic plays, a lot of motion, a lot of pre-snap, post-snap motion, as Ryan was alluding to. They use, and this is going to be great for Bijan Robinson. He's going to be so dangerous in this offense as a runner, not primarily as a running back in that running back position. They're going to use him in the slot. They're going to use him in a lot of sweeps. You're going to see him a lot of drag routes. You're going to see him a lot of pick plays. You're going to see him just in um, so many unique situations. So I think that's the thing when I'm looking at Zach Robinson. He uses so many jet sweeps. He uses his athletes almost. I'm trying to figure out the perfect offense I can say is really the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the perfect offense. We see a lot of it with Kansas City, with the 49ers. They use a lot of sweeps with Debo. They use it with Ayuk and all those guys. And I think if we're gonna say two guys that you have to pay attention to in this particular offense, um, what we're going to see from Bijan Robinson in his offense, two guys in the NFL. It's CMC and Isaiah Pacheco. This is what you're going to see these guys all over the field. You're going to see Bijan Robinson playing a lot like those guys. So be prepared for a lot of touchdowns from Bijan, a lot of touches, but he's going to have an opportunity to have some big plays, man. K-Style there? You don't fall asleep, K-Style?
Nah, we ain't sleep. I had a Pootie Tang moment, y'all. I came up with the Pootie Tang song on y'all. But we got a question here. But before we get to the question, let's go ahead and shout out some more people that just may have popped in here. We got Southside Mucho Grundy. Shout out to Blackberry in the building. Eric Mack. Home team. Marcus Bell. We got Sarah Xiong, Dre Harrison. But we got a question here from Marcus Bell. He said, do you think we load up on defense in the draft?
Good question. You have a defensive minded head coach. Jerry Gray, he's the assistant head coach. The moves we just made in with free agency, you got a receiver, you have a quarterback. I really do feel like we should load up on defense. The only thing we need on offense right now is just more depth on the O-line. That's it. Like we may end up drafting a receiver. I really feel like offense, we may get a receiver and we may get another swing tackle. And those will probably be day 2, day 3 picks. But majority of the picks will be defense. You need more depth at the quarter position. You need more pass rushers. Linebackers, inside linebackers, I think we're good, but it won't hurt to have pick another outside linebacker because we got to remember Ogadeji. I don't think he's coming back, so you got to replace him as well. Safety spot. Something just really blew my mind the day when I was driving from work. I'm thinking like we may end up drafting a safety in the second round. That won't be a far-fetched idea.
So you say
Grant is not a Jerry Gray guy. He's not a Jerry Gray guy. So, we got DeMarco Hellams in last year's draft, but again, you need depth. I won't be mad if we do draft a safety in the second round. But yeah, I feel like we do need to load up on defense. The defense has been trending up, just like what Ryan just said. So the best way to do it, keep the momentum going on the defense. You get more guys in here to help us out, and then they can go compete in training camp and the preseason.
All right, Drew, what you got on that? What you got on that question, man?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely got to go heavy on defense. I feel like the first pick got to be a defensive player. I know Roma Dunze and Neighbors, that's all cute, but we have enough. We went 3 years in a row with offensive guys. And I'm going to say it again, which we said last year, how many mouths do you need to feed? Like, you go get a Roma Dunze, it's not Neighbors and Roma Dunze, that's all cute. The only way I see us taking a Roma Dunze or a Neighbors is if Kyle Pitts is on the chopping block, meaning they saying like we can find somebody else to do what Kyle Pitts does. After his 5th-year option, we're not going to re-sign him. We're going to try to trade him. And then now you got Roma Dunze, Drake, and Bijan. But you're not going to need Bijan, Drake, Kyle Pitts, Roma Dunze, or Neighbors. That to me, that's just too many guys. Like at that point, you're kind of diluting what the other guys do. You just heard Mike talk about Bijan Robinson. Like, we want to be able to feed some of these guys. So you don't, and we got Mooney. I forgot we just got Mooney. So that's another good mouth you got to feed. So to me, it doesn't make
Charlie
sense.
Warner.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to go out and get an offensive guy. So I think edge is where I'm looking. Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, whichever one of those two guys you really like, which I think it's going to come down to those two guys at 8. If you sit there at 8, or even if you trade down a little bit, like if these quarterbacks start going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that offensive tackle come off the board, the Falcons may be able to trade back and get more, and then still get Verse or Dallas Turner. But if I'm the Falcons, I'm taking one of those two top guys because we haven't really taken a top guy since Vic Beasley, since Tack McKinley. So because I don't know what's happening with Bud Dupree, because I don't know what's happening with Calais Campbell, and even if we re-sign those guys, I still say take a premier pass rusher if you can get them in the first round. If you think about all of the guys that I mentioned that we all were clamoring for, Khalil Mack is a first rounder, TJ Watt is a first rounder, the Bosa boys are first rounders. So if you want to get that top tier guy, the Crosbys, the Max Crosbys, those guys are 1 in a million. It's rare that you're going to find a really, really good bona fide, he should have been a first round pick, pass rusher in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. That rarely happens. So when you have your opportunity to get one of those really good pass rushers, take that pass rusher. And the Falcons, I hope we stick with our guns and go out and get a pass rusher because we really need one. We really, really need. We haven't had that guy since Johnny Abraham that can consistently get pressure. And I really feel like the Falcons need to continue to build in the trenches. So definitely got to go heavy on the defense because I really feel like everything that's being done right now in free agency is telling you what we're going to do in the draft. And we went heavy on the offensive side. I don't believe we signed any defensive players at this point. So that's telling you like we're going to have to go deep on this in the secondary and in the trenches on the defensive side because we lost a lot of key pieces that didn't come back for whatever reason, or maybe they're just waiting a little bit because Bud hasn't signed with anybody. Calais hasn't signed with anybody. So maybe you bring those guys back on short deals, but you still need Dallas Turner or Verse so they can basically be groomed up under. We've seen Zach Harrison come on, but that's because he was groomed by Campbell, groomed by Bud Dupree.
Well,
Don, I hope you're not eating over there.
I'm drinking.
Well, yeah, in your case, same damn thing. But
What the hell is that? Trust me, I wish I was eating something right now.
but as far as kind of where y'all was talking about in the draft, like you said, the knowing how Fontenot has been and knowing how our first round picks have been, I just had this weird feeling. Like I said, I could be wrong here, but Quentin Mitchell out of Toledo, the corner, is like you said, I don't know. It's that out of the box first round, like everybody's expecting. Like if we've seen the history of the last few years in this draft, let's be honest. Majority of the draft picks in the first round were unexpected by the popular masses. Unexpected, not unpopular. Unexpected, but we'll see. We'll see how it go, man. We'll see how it go. Like I said, I would love an edge rusher my damn self, but something tells me that quarter may be the position they go for. See if we got any more questions in here. Chuck here said Tyler Nubin is the safety we need in the second round. What do y'all think on that?
I ain't seen the tape on Tyler Nubin. What team he play for? Tell Chuck to put it in the chat so I can do
Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Okay, yeah, I got to do a prospect video. Thanks, Chuck, for giving me somebody to do a prospect video on. I haven't seen him.
Well, I can tell you, he a big dude. He a big boy.
Yeah, he is. He's
a big boy.
I might have to check him out. But what I will say is what you guys were saying about Richie Grant. I think it was Don that was talking about Richie Grant. I really feel like the writing's kind of on the wall. I'm not going to say that Richie Grant is not going to be here, but he's still on the rookie contract. So once his rookie contract is over, I definitely see us taking a safety in this draft because he probably won't get another contract with the Falcons just based off of his play because he didn't turn out to what they thought he was going to actually be. Last year, they played him a lot in the box because he was getting beat deep. So they moved, put Helms back there. So I really think the writing's kind of on the wall for Richie Grant. It's just like use him where you can get the best up out of him. But at this point, they're going to have to probably draft somebody to replace him to run the scheme that they want him to run, especially now with Raheem being here and Jimmy Lake. They're going to want to go out and get their guy. We've seen that with Hennessy. He talked about Hennessy. When Arthur Smith and them got here and they went out and got Drew Dahlman, what happened to Hennessy? He went eventually right to the bench because he wasn't their guy. So I really feel like it's the same thing with Richie Grant. At this point, the writing's on the wall.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Mike, we got Wavy 2 times with this question here. I'm going to let you go ahead and run part on this question. Do you think the Atlanta Falcons stay at 8? Or do you think they either trade up or trade down from that spot?
I'm kind of echo your sentiments.
You guys just asked me a question.
I think the Falcons are going to go corner, man. If we just look at the coaching staff, there's all the signs have the making of going at corner, having a guy or a secondary guy with that first pick if at 8, and I believe you can keep Terrell and have a corner and then throw Clark Phillips in that slot position because he's very good as a slot corner. And now you have an elite secondary. You got JB, you got AJ, and then you got what's the kid name? You just what's
DeMarco Helms.
DeMarco Helms. He throw him in there. Man, and you look at Jimmy Lake, man. Like his thing is he liked to send blitzes with his secondary. So you have not only Lakes, but you have Jerry Gray. He's a secondary guy, and then obviously Raheem is a secondary guy. This just has all the makings of a secondary. Like I know that we're going to continue to add defensive guys, but the way that this defense is already designed, you have on your model, you have a young prospect that we still developing. I think he's going to be a damn good defensive tackle and defensive lineman. And Zach Harrison, I think we good there. Um, but the Falcons, they're going to be aggressive in getting after the quarterback. So I really believe that this eighth pick, if they stay there, it's going to be a corner, man. I have a real because if they really wanted the defensive, if they want to draft a defensive lineman, in my opinion, they wouldn't have. And like I said, I don't know if it's 100% uh, true, but if they went after Daniil Hunter and they actually gave him that much money, that tells me they want veterans up front. They're not looking at young guys. All right. So I say corner, man. And they're going to continue to put those big bodies up front. Taquan Graham, Zach Harrison, Grady Jarrett, and they're going to continue to put big bodies. And you can get some big bodies in the second round. That's more a lot of the bigger and more impactful defensive tackles come is in the second and third round, man. So I think the Falcons are really going to double up on a lot of big bodies, but I believe that first pick is going to be a secondary guy, man.
Could be. I really, you can still this draft. You can pick good corners in these first 3 rounds. It's a lot of talent. Everybody know the corner I really love, and yes, I'm gonna say his name is Mikey Sanderson. He can do it all. You can put him anywhere. You can line him up on the outside. You can line him up in slot. You can line him up in safety. He does well with blitz, corner blitzes. He does it all.
Where he from? No,
I forgot what school he went to. Dang, what school he went to?
Are we really gonna play this game? Are we really gonna play this game?
Y'all know where he went to. Come on, though.
I'm
Like,
just asking.
he does it
We're
all.
gonna really play this game.
He's a versatile corner, though. Like, remember, a lot of people don't remember, like, because a lot of people don't watch Big Ten football. He was a receiver at first, and they moved him to corner. Like, any team that gets him is going to have a good player, but I really feel like for what we really need, if we're going to keep AJ Terrell, a person that would compensate him would be a Mikey Sanderson. And we talk about getting turnovers, like he can get you some turnovers, pass breakups, he can blitz. Like you can line, he can play free safety, or you can, if you want to play him safety, he can play in the box. Like, he can do it all.
Okay. Hey, Jude, we got a question for you right here from Dre Harrison. What remaining veteran edge rusher would you want to see in a Falcon uniform?
It's gonna be funny right here. None of them. I really think all of the ones that I wanted are gone, man. I really thought that Leonard Floyd would be a guy because he played for Raheem Morris and he does things that Raheem Morris likes as far as dropping his edges into the flats and things of that nature and being able to be kind of exotic with the defense. But to be honest, like the Khalil Max is off the table. The Daniil Hunter is a guy I really wanted. At this point, I'm like, go with continuity. Bring back Bud and bring back Calais, because those guys stopped the run first. And I like that about those two guys is, if you guys noticed last year, I talked about tackling was key and stopping. How many times we've seen this Falcons team where we're like, dang, just cut the edge off. Just stop the edge. Just stop the edge. Just cut off the edge. We were really good last year in putting teams in third and long situations because on first and second down, Onyemata, Grady, those guys penetrating the backfield, getting tackles for loss. Caden Ellis and Landman roaming downhill, flowing downhill because of those big bodies up front. So I feel like at this point, it's not really anybody out there that I'll be like, yeah, this is an upgrade over a Bud Dupree. All the guys that are out there, like they're talking about Josh Sweat for the Eagles is out there. He's like 6'5". And he's a guy that's really, really good and kind of underrated. And he's a guy that stops the run. But I think Calais and Bud Dupree, because of their veteran leadership and because we're still grooming AK, grooming Zach Harrison, I would like to see them bring in, like I said, I really think the pick at 8 is going to be somebody like a Dallas Turner because he's a guy similar to like a Leonard Floyd. If it comes out of Zach Turner and Verse, I think they'll go with Turner because he's a guy that has that closing speed, but he's also a guy that play off-ball linebacker. So like y'all were talking about those blitzes and things that Jimmy Lakes like to run, you can bring Dallas Turner off the ball at times. He'd be like a Michael Parsons where he can come from anywhere. He'll line up over your center if that's your weak point and blitz from there. So I really feel like that's what I would do. But none of the guys that are left out of the veterans, I really feel like our veteran guys that we had last year that are still free agents are better than a lot of the guys that are remaining. The big names off the table. So at this point, I wouldn't get those guys.
Yeah, I'm still, Zoe, he's still gonna be here, right?
Yeah, he's under contract for one more year.
So yeah, we still got Zoe. We good. I don't know what we're gonna do with Taquan Graham.
Contract still, so he's
still under contract. He's gonna be a casualty. He's gonna be a casualty. Zach Harrison. Like I said, you still want to continue to add to what you have because you don't know. You may draft somebody that may be better than some of these guys. That's just how sometimes the cards fall. Yeah, we love Zoe, we love Ibikedi, but it might be somebody we may draft and maybe play better than them.
So
especially you have more experience. You have more experienced defensive guys on this staff now who can understand what we need to just get better. Yeah, our defense played better last year, but we want to improve on that.
I'm sorry, Kay, I don't mean to cut you off. That's why I'm not saying put. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, even if you bring back the Bud Dupree, still go get Turner. I don't care. Just because you got him, because that's just going to improve it. So on 3rd and long, throw Turner in there and let him raise hell. But outside of that, you know what I'm saying? We got to keep.
You said hell.
But you know what, though? I'm gonna be honest with you, Drew, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I really think Dallas Turner is gonna be gone before 8.
Yeah, if he's gone, I would take a. I still would take Jared Verse, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, I like Verse. Verse will fit.
I like Verse, man. He's physical at the point.
Yeah, Verse is that dude. If you want to stop the run and cut the edge off, Verse is more physical than Dallas Turner. But
and he plays all 4 quarters. Every quarter he doesn't get tired at all. Like I've seen games Dallas Turner by the end of the 3rd quarter or somewhere between the middle of the 3rd quarter, you see he's gassed. Verse, even when they played against Georgia, like that man was still going full speed in the 4th quarter, knowing y'all was gonna lose.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think Jared Verse is the more complete pass rusher in this draft. I know Dallas Turner is really a situational guy. That's why I said just basically off the hype itself, I kind of feel like Dallas Turner may go number 1 overall. That's a hot take from your boy, K Styles here.
If they keep Justin Fields, that probably may end up being the case.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you think he's gonna go to the Bears? Okay.
They know defense. They need to get back to that formula of playing defense. I'm
just saying. Like you said, this draft, I have a feeling this draft is going nowhere like anybody expects. Dallas Turner is getting pretty much all the hype and all the love right now as far as the edge rushers, and I think Chicago may bite them. They might bite on the bait on that.
Yeah.
With the 1st overall pick. Now if they do, that's good for us because that means Jared Verse is gonna be there, and you'd be like, ta-da.
Okay, so you saying that Dallas Turner is going number 1?
Dallas Turner.
Okay.
Dallas Turner.
Okay.
I may have said the wrong name, y'all. If I did, just like R-Truth, my bad. But Sarah Shaw here said, I don't think there's any corner worth drafting at 8, though. Ask Sarah, like you said, what rounds in the first round do you think that the corner should start flying off the shelf? Do you think it's 10 through 15, or do you think it may be 16 on back? That's a question for you. Let's see. Blackberry here said, if Turner goes number 1 overall, all Chicago need to do is this franchise and ask for a payback of all the ticket sales and concessions.
Chicago fan gonna support regardless. It don't even matter.
At the end of the day, if they cannot find anybody for Fields, like to trade or to do anything with Fields, like they have 2 first-round draft picks. So if they decide that they want Dallas Turner at number 1 overall, okay, then the next pick they have in the first round, whichever quarterback's still there, they can get him. Like it ain't like they got 1 first round; they got 2. They got 2, so they have options.
Yeah, they got a lot of options. I think they just need to stop being stubborn. Whoever gave you the best trade compensation, trade Fields away because you know you want Caleb Williams. Stop playing. They wasting time. They wasting everybody's time.
I don't think Caleb Williams want to deal with that Chicago culture.
Because you're gonna end up crying.
And I don't think they want nobody crying after every loss. I don't think they want that. So Sarah said 16 on back for the corners.
Yeah, that Sarah, I agree with you on that. Because I really feel like the first 15 picks, you're going to see quarterbacks, you're going to see offensive linemen, you're going to see pass rushers, and you're also going to see, Brock Bowers tight end. You're going to see he's going to go as well. So, that's what I'm saying. The corners, they're gonna start probably coming off the shelf in the mid to late first round.
This is an interesting question here. Like I said, we got about 5 to 10 more minutes, so we're gonna ask a couple more questions. Question here from Pasta Girl says, "What do y'all think about the Calvin Ridley to Tennessee Titans deal?"
Who gives a crap about that crybaby? Hey, he deserves the money because he's one of the better wide receivers in the league, but who cares? Nah, I'm just
Tennessee
joking.
just known for just taking former Falcon wide receivers for some reason.
Yeah, I don't understand it for Tennessee. Like, I'm not. Look, I think really is a good wide receiver. The thing is with him, man, you got to pair him with a physical wide receiver because, like, if you don't pair him with a physical wide receiver, it's in my opinion, it's a waste of money. So you have to have a plan with your wide receiver core because he's not going across the middle. That was the issue with him with Atlanta. That was the issue with him in Jacksonville. That's why they didn't want to give him the money because he refused to go over the middle. So you got to have a plan in place for him. So they don't have a plan in place. It's an absolute waste of money and waste of a contract.
Don't they still have Nuke over there? Isn't Hopkins still the number 1 receiver over there? Or is he?
Yeah, but he don't stay healthy these days.
Yeah, he's up there in age, man.
Yeah, I still think he's the number 1 though. Calvin Ridley about to be Robin to his Batman. So when I seen it, I was just like, I can't believe they gave him that huge of a contract because to me, he didn't earn it. To be honest, and I don't like to talk about people's money, to be honest with you, but personally, I wouldn't have gave him that kind of money because to me, he hasn't been consistent to earn that type of payday. But then again, here we go again. When I talked about Kirk Cousins, that's the price of doing business now with these wide receivers. That's why why you draft them early. Like when I talked about London, Pitts, us needing to capitalize on this rookie contract. When Pitts is time to get paid again, he gonna want big money too. So we better make a decision on, he better prove it this year. But that could be a reason why I mentioned if they think that Kyle Pitts is not going to be what we thought he was going to be, meaning a generational talent, they might go out and draft one. They might say, you know what? We're going to draft Neighbors or we're going to draft Roma Dunze because I think he might be what we thought Kyle Pitts was going to be, a generational talent. We're going to go ahead and trade Kyle Pitts. And that's something that Mike said a while ago about, possibly trading Pitts. But I really think it'll come down to, what he shows us this year, because I think Kyle Pitts is playing for a new contract this year, period.
Shout out the workflow. Dre pretty much saying that Calvin really doesn't like to get touched at all. That almost sound like something else.
My head went straight to the gutter, boy.
Wait, but when he be moonwalking, then that sounds about right. But
that's him.
Oh man. Here's another draft scenario here, man. We're gonna let this be the last one for the night. Trippy Gengar. That's a very trippy name. Pokemon shout out. He said, what if we picked up Brock Bowers and moved Pitts the wide receiver?
We could do it. It could happen. I don't think that they're going to do that, but that's what's fun about what we did in this free agency. When you get the quarterback solidified, now we know that the Falcons are not trading up. From my understanding, you pay somebody $100 million. We ain't trading up. You can hang that up. So at this point, it opens up everything, to be honest, because again, I said again, you can trade back. You don't even have to sit there at 8 because I really think these quarterbacks are going to come off the board. Boom, boom, boom. And then all of them good players, like we talk about the Dallas Turners, the Jared Verse, I feel like all of them going to get pushed down to us. So at 8, we're going to be sitting there where we got the pick of the litter. Do you want a Brock Bowers? Do you want to? And that could be a guy, again, I just said, Kyle Pitts, he's one of those guys that I think is replaceable. I don't think that based off of his talent, I think that he's a guy that he should be an untouchable, but I believe because of the injuries and then because he hasn't put up the numbers since Matt Ryan has been going, this is a prove it type of year for Kyle Pitts. I'm being serious about that. Like he's gonna have to show what he showed in year 1 so that for them to be like, okay, we need to give him another contract. Outside of that, we're seeing every single year tight ends come into the league just like these wide receivers in ball. So he's really on the hot seat, to be honest. Kyle Pitts is really on the hot seat.
Yeah. They'll give him, like I said, this year, I think they're going to give him a shot. Like, you had a future Hall of Fame quarterback your rookie year, but at the end of the day, it was your rookie year. You still managed to get over 1,000 yards. All right. Yeah. I think he almost broke Dicker's record, I believe. All right. Second year, you got hurt. You didn't play the full season. And we know that year was pretty much a disaster. Last year, you coming back from an injury, we were inconsistent at quarterback majority of the season. Now you have a bona fide veteran quarterback that's really good. So if you don't perform, if you don't get the yards, then hey, it is time for us to start looking at a new direction at his tight end. So
basically what you're saying is put up or shut up. Like at this point, you have Kyle Pitts has no excuse because you're going to have a better play caller. You're going to have a better quarterback and a quarterback that's going to get you the ball. He had Hawkinson looking like an all-pro with Minnesota. So he's more athletic than Hawkinson. So he better get off this year. Let's just be real. Like Kyle Pitts better show us what he did in year 1. He don't have to get 1,000 yards, but he has to be one of those guys that's a game changer in a mismatch.
He needs to be consistent and effective.
Yeah, that's
those two things. You need to be consistent each game, and then you need to be effective.
Right.
So like we can't just. That means you need a block too. So he need to work on his blocking. But yeah, I agree with you on that. Breyer is not going to be there 8, you guys. He's not. He's going to go somewhere between.
I don't know, Doug, because these quarterbacks, man, everybody crying about these quarterbacks. That's I like in normal circumstances in any other draft, I would say that, but everybody's crying and whining for these quarterbacks, and you got to throw another thing in too. What if there's a run on tackle? on the offensive line.
And
That
that's what
could
I
drop
remember.
guys.
I've been saying that for a while now. Like I've been saying that Jake Matthews is up in age. You know, now we literally seen Jason Kelsey retired at 12 years. These linemen now, they don't have to play 15, 16 years. We know Bruce Smith played 20 years in the NFL. The thing is, they didn't pay linemen as much as linemen gets paid these days. So a lineman now can retire after 12 seasons. So with that being said, you guys, we may need to start looking at Jake Matthews' successor at their left tackle spot. So I'm all for, that's why I just said too, if we get a tackle, I think we either get a tackle and we're going to get a receiver. But I really don't think we're going to draft a receiver this early in the first day one or day two. Receiver might be a day three, early day three pick. But I won't be surprised if we do get a tackle.
That would shock everybody, but I think it would be a smart move. Like you said, we don't know how long Matthews want to play for. So you don't want to be in that situation where, okay, he done retired and now we got to just throw somebody in there or this year we got to draft one because he retired. So I'd rather just have that guy ready, get already prepared, then sat behind Jake and all right, it's your time to shine.
And I know a lot of people saying that, about Mooney. Mooney is he's a second option receiver. And you have Kyle Pitts, yes, you're tight end. People keep thinking that we got to load up on receiver. At that point, to be honest with you, when you go to your third option receiver, I ain't gonna say it can be anybody. It just needs to be somebody who's going to catch the ball, who's not going to fumble the ball, who can get a few yards after the catch. Create separation is the main thing for a third receiver. At that spot, you have to just make do with what you have. And we all know we all from the hood. All right. Now we know we used to eat cereal from Wick. We ain't had no Frosted Flakes. We had what? Corn Flakes, right? What do we do with no corn flakes, man, Mike?
Put some water on them motherfuckers and eat the motherfucking shit.
No.
I'm talking about what I did, motherfucker. Shit.
But I know, but I'm just saying, cornflakes, they ain't got no sugar. They ain't no
you got to pour some sugar in. I know. That's what I'm doing. Pouring sugar in.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Pour some sugar, man.
So you got to.
No.
So pretty much what I'm saying is, guys, you just got to make do with
hot,
what you
sticky,
can.
sweet from my head.
You done got kicked out started.
So you just got to make do with what you have when you have your wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. You don't need to draft a wide receiver 3 in the first round or even in the second round. They're not going to get the ball that much.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and start winding it down, fellas. Oh man, D called me shut the hell up. He talking about Isaiah's bedtime now. All right, whatever. We're gonna go ahead and wind it down tonight, fellas, and definitely shout out to Will the Georgia Reaper for everything Atlanta sports. If you haven't caught the show, the live, make sure you go ahead and recap that on Atlanta Falcons Nation and or Will the Georgia Reapers channel. Fellas, go ahead and take us out, man. Like I said, what's your final thoughts for the night?
I'll start, man. It was a great show as always, but like I said, man, I'm just glad we didn't got this quarterback situation figured out, and we kind of see what direction this team is headed in. Very interesting to see what we do, like in the draft. I'm looking forward to the draft now, so I'm gonna start doing some more breakdowns. So you guys continue to send us names of players that you would like us to check out, not just players that are the top and the hottest names, but players that you think might fit in the scheme. So I'm definitely going to check out the one kid that y'all said, the safety. I'm gonna check him out and see what he got and what he fit in this scheme from my point of view. But like I said, man, it's going to be very interesting what this team does, especially continuing with the free agency, because I don't know with Calais, is he going to retire? Is he going to come back? And with Bud, I'm waiting to see if Bud is going to re-sign with the team, because I really feel like those two guys really brought value to the team last year, especially in the locker room, because we were a really young team. So,
All right, you got any final words for the people, man?
Hey, thank y'all for joining in. I know, look, Kirk Cousins is our quarterback for this 2024 season. All we got to do, man, just rally behind this man and just wish for the best. I know it's not a choice that some people didn't want. This is what we have right now. So he needs y'all. The team needs y'all support. Let's be fans. Let's put the differences aside about what you really wanted and just actually get behind the Atlanta Falcons. I remember at the end of the day, that Falcon logo is everything. It means more than anything to any other player that you desire. So let's focus on that. That's all I got to say.
All right. Mike, what you got?
I'm kind of upset because nobody hasn't bought an Atlanta Falcons red and black event ticket. Go up and buy 5 tickets, man. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I like. Can y'all please show Mad Mike some birthday love? All right, just go. We having the red and black event here in the A. All right, red and black event. So you want to sit down, come holler at us. Look, come holler at us. All right, the red and black event, and the link will be in Atlanta Falcons Nation. Head over to Atlanta Falcons Nation. Get those tickets. Just come holler. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some free food. Okay, that comes with the $20 admission. All right. First come, first serve. So all the food gone is because y'all didn't get y'all goddamn tickets. So don't pay me. Oh, Mike didn't feed us. No, you didn't buy your tickets. Okay, you gotta buy the tickets. It's $20. Okay, $20. That's all.
And so, I'm gonna make sure I tell Maggie we need some butterscotch cake. We're gonna have cake this year.
Butterscotch cake. We're really doing this, like,
man. Butterscotch cake is the best cake, man. Don't hate on it, man.
Yes, you know what? It
gonna end the show on butterscotch cake, okay? Yes. Butterscotch cake.
Butterscotch cake. Yeah.
I love butterscotch.
Okay. Hey, we got you on that.
Oh my God.
I guess you say it's a lot better than them the healthy choice watermelon cupcakes we had last time. But
y'all better stop for Maggie get on to it.
But my final take for the night is it's finally feels great to talk about the Atlanta Falcons again.
Breathe.
Thank God.
Breathe again. That's what it is.
God damn it, anime! What the hell you want?
Man, you showing too much skin. You showing too much skin for these people. Don't do that. You gonna have them up here spending $40.
I ain't studying nobody right now. Hold on. So people won't say they can't find it because everybody got amnesia and can't remember nothing half the time. So hold on. Let me get the link. Give me a minute.
Why you doing that? You think you can get somebody to make some butterscotch cake?
Oh my God. See, you already got Reggie started. See what I'm talking about?
We can get what's name Jerome's wife, Sweets by Deshawn. You know she makes cakes from scratch.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
We need to hit her up, man. I want that, and I want a lemon cheesecake cake.
Okay, motherfucker, you gonna pay for the cakes then? How about that?
He won't. All the people that's coming to this event gonna pay for them. I'm gonna put a little something.
We trying. You trying to.
Man, boy, this ain't about to be a birthday party, boy. What is we doing?
It is a birthday party. It's a birthday for the celebration of the new season that we're gonna embark on. This is gonna be 2024 Super Bowl champions Atlanta Falcons.
My God, boy. Butterscotch cake. Like,
my goodness.
I don't even know if I've ever had butterscotch cake.
I didn't even know there was a such thing.
But there's so many cakes that y'all ain't never heard of before.
It sounds very sticky.
It's not sticky. It's like
that does sound sticky.
It's like caramel cake, but it has a rich
taste. Caramel cake is sticky and hard.
It's not really hard. If they make it hard, then they didn't put enough butter into the stuff. You gotta put
the content. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
You got to put the right amount of butter into it, and you got to use the right amount of confectioner sugar as well.
Of course, the expert.
You know it. He know it all. He know it all.
Oh, yeah.
Ticket, y'all. Get them links. Right. Get them tickets.
Yeah, go ahead, y'all. Get them tickets. I see people in the chat. I want y'all to
real.
Well, I want
grab your ticket. Come get with it.
Hold on, I thought you was gonna end it with a food reference.
No,
No, we know the song, bro. We talking about yo.
I thought you was gonna start singing about food. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the food. That's why I said the food remix.
I'm good. I'm done talking about food.
Man, but at the end of the day, like John St. Clair said, yeah, this was a show where our name shall not be mentioned, even though we got one of his cronies in here that's trying to keep on bringing it up. So everybody ignore him. Everybody look to the
We're not doing
look. Everybody look to the right. No, everybody look to the right. Ignored. So until next time, people. At the end, so until next time, people, we definitely appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the Heavy Hitters Live, as well as Atlanta Falcon Nation. We got the later birds of AFN possibly coming on tomorrow.
Oh, we coming on tomorrow. We got stuff to talk about.
All right, so what the time y'all got for tomorrow? 8:30? 8 o'clock. Like you said, followed by the 6-man convo. And
dude, when you doing your Dirty Bird? What's the word, Dirty Bird?
I usually do it on Tuesdays, but I don't know what day I'm doing this week. So y'all stay tuned. Hit that notification bell so y'all know when I'm live, period. Mm-hmm. If y'all hit the notification bell, y'all know when I go live. But usually, like next week, it'll be Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 11 to 12, but sometimes we run over. We do 11 to 12:30. So y'all come join your boy for What's the Word.
All right, so until next.
Until we eat again.
Like I said, once again, everybody look to the right one more time. Ignored. So we ain't here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah. Dig it.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here.
Make sure y'all get them goddamn tickets, y'all.
Right now.
Yeah.
Support.
Tax season, y'all ain't got no excuse. Y'all got some money.
Mm-hmm.
Deuces.